We welcome you to Game 2 of our doubleheader tonight on ACC Network. It's a single meeting in this ACC conference season, and it comes right out of the gate to start 2024. Notre Dame and NC State tonight from Purcell Pavillion in South Bend, Indiana. Delighted to be with Dan Bonner. Wes Durham, great to have you with us tonight. It's been kind of up and down for Micah Shrewsbury in year one here in South Bend, but harder to ride a higher high than a win over Virginia they got here last Saturday.
You know, you're a brand new head coach and you're looking for a signature win. Well, maybe that win against Virginia was the signature win. And the Irish, who have been very good defensively all year, they came out smoking against the University of Virginia. There's what they did for the season. Look what they did against Virginia West. The game is a lot easier when the ball goes in the basket.
Yeah, I think Naismith said it first, but you're right. And then when you talk about guys who are really rolling, how about DJ Horn of NC State, Dan?
DJ Horn's last time out, he scored 26 points, including knocking down 6 threes. He had a great December, but his last 4 games, look at these numbers, and particularly the shooting percentage numbers. He also dished out 6 assists his last time out. He has developed after a slow start into a stalwart member of the Wolfpack.
Wolfpack's won their last 2, so has Notre Dame. The Irish, you know, Micah Shrewsbury feels like he might have flipped the light on for this team in some respect the last couple of games. They're coming off a break. NC State has not played since December 23rd. Keba Jai gets us started here with Dennis Parker Jr., the Wolfpack in red. And here is a look at the aforementioned DJ Horn. He'll start the possession in the ball game here for us. And we got a clock issue right off the jump.
Well, neither clock started. Not the game clock, not the shot clock.
And Micah Shrewsbury and DJ Horn had a laugh about it. And so Bill Covington Jr., who works with Tony Henderson and Lamar Simpson tonight, we'll go to the tables to get this sorted out here from a game management perspective.
We've taken 2 seconds off the game clock. So now we got to get the shot clock under control.
That'd be it. NC State, by the way, they only played once a year ago. NC State won 85-82 in Raleigh.
So now it's 6 seconds.
Yep.
Okay.
And I think they're going to take 6 seconds off the shot clock. That leaves NC State with 24.
It's going to be an NBA possession, this first one.
You feel good about it?
Absolutely.
Okay. We're going to play on here.
The Irish in man-to-man. This matchup between Burton and Horn is an interesting one to watch early.
How about Jai and Burns? There's DJ already starting the back down. Here comes the double team from Kerry Booth. Wolfpack moving around with 10 to shoot. And Horn trying to get inside against Tay Davis here. Baseline jumper. Bounds away, and a rebound pulled down by the aforementioned Keba Jai. Here's the lineup for Notre Dame. 3rd straight game. You get both Keba Jai and Kerry Booth on the floor for Coach Shrewsbury. Konechny has gotten off to a terrific start, but the star for the Irish has been the freshman number 3, Marcus Burton. Jai gets it to him on the cut. He'll skip for Konechny. 5 to shoot. Booth, they whip it around to the left corner. Here is Burton squeezing baseline, feeds inside, and the layup is good for Tay Davis.
Boy, that was a really impressive offensive possession. Great ball movement, no panic against pretty tough defense.
Casey Morcell, he headlines the NC State lineup with Burns, Parker. Keep an eye on Jaden Taylor. There's a skip pass by Burns, and it's thrown away. Tried to airmail one to Taylor.
Wes, it's interesting. The first 2 possessions, Notre Dame isn't double teaming DJ Burns right away. They wait until he starts moving toward the basket. And when he starts toward the basket, they double team, and he just threw that one a little too tall. He's a much better passer than that.
Yep, Burns comes into the ball game averaging almost 3 assists a game.
And he likes to pass. He's looking for the opportunity to pass.
Burton at the foul line. Left it on the rim. And the run-through rebound for Dennis Parker Jr., the freshman from Richmond, Virginia. Averaging about 7 points and 4.5 rebounds a game for Kevin Keats. And stepping out of bounds is Jaden Taylor, the Butler transfer in his first year in Raleigh.
Wes, and that's what I'm talking about with DJ Burns. He had a wide open shot from just inside the free throw line, and he elected to pitch it out to Taylor for a much harder shot. In fact, an impossible shot, since you can't shoot it when you're standing out of bounds.
DJ Horn picking up Burton at the timeline. Here's Konechny. skipping it across. Burton tees one up and scores.
And that's another good sign for Notre Dame, because Burton, with all the things he does really well, he does not shoot the three well. Only 25% coming in.
Yep, that is Marcus Burton's 14th three of the year in 53 tries. But he's had 6 straight double-figure games, and he's the ACC's Rookie of the Week. And there's a rattle-in 2 for DJ Horn. First points for the Wolfpack, and backcourt pressure applied here by NC State.
Well, Horn is a scorer, and he can score from any place on the court. He's very good in the mid-range.
And that got poked away from behind by DJ Horn into the Wolfpack bench.
And the Wolfpack, obviously, when they score, they're going to come after you with that full court pressure. And they want to keep that pressure on. They don't back off when they get into the half court.
Yeah, NC State is top 10 in the country in turnover margin. They force a bunch of them. Here is Burton on the drive. He got all the way to the rim and scores. 5 for Marcus Burton of Notre Dame's first 7 in the game's first 3 minutes.
Well, obviously, he's got some speed, but he's also got some strength, too, because he went through some contact to get to the rim.
Young freshman from Mishawaka, Indiana, 12th in the ACC in scoring. Here's Morcell, a fall away. Nicely done. Casey Morcell's first basket. And Dan, Casey Morcell's been struggling scoring-wise here in the last 4 games.
Well, he has, and he's turned himself into a really good offensive player. And even good offensive players struggle from time to time.
Look at Burton racing. Now here's Kerry Booth's first shot in the lane, and it rattles in. Dropped in off the back of the rim off that flange for Kerry Booth. He has come into the lineup his 3rd straight start tonight. He has doubled his scoring and practically doubled his rebounding in those last 2 starts.
Well, he's long, he's athletic, he can shoot the 3.
Here's Horn spotting up another 2. Booth the rebound for the Irish.
Now, North Carolina State, they're sort of settling. Their ball's not moving, the players aren't moving.
There's Burton working on Taylor. On the drive, this is Davis. Here's Konechny. Tried to fight through, back for Davis. That's an open 3 from the right. It's good for Tay Davis. And there's going to be a foul and the 3. Off the ball, Davis has got 5. The foul is on NC State. And we will take a break. Irish an early 8-point lead. Well, Dan, Notre Dame's got a vibe a little bit like Saturday against Virginia, seeing shots go in from distance.
Well, you know, they shot the ball very well in that game against Virginia. Tay Davis coming in after this shot. After he made this shot, he's now 3 for 20 on the year shooting threes. So Burton, a 25% three-point shooter, has knocked one down, and Davis knocks one down as well.
Irish will keep possession because the foul underneath the basket was on DJ Burns. His first. It's the first on the Wolfpack. So Ben Middlebrooks, an early insertion into the lineup for Kevin Keatts, along with Mohamed Diarra, the Missouri transfer, has checked in as well. So Burns gets a seat on the bench, and the jumper no good. Diarra scrambling inside has the rebound.
I think Kevin Keatts is trying to match up size-wise against Notre Dame. Kebajai and Booth in the game, they're both about 6'10".
Yeah. Here's Morcell from Middlebrooks, the Clemson transfer. Now to Taylor. Jaden Taylor trying to find an alley, picks up on the dribble.
Taylor's another guy who has struggled recently.
Morcell had a 3 rattle out, and the rebound for Kebajai.
And Notre Dame is not going to be in any hurry here. They want a half-court game. They'll take opportunity when it appears, but they're not going to rush it down the court.
Look at Davis now starting to feel it in traffic. Forced it up, got blocked Diarra. Recovered to Burton. Booth will launch. Back rim missed. Taylor the rebound. Here's the Wolfpack trailing 8 early.
And they want to push it.
Sure do. Taylor trying to find a seam. Here's Diarra. Doesn't score very much. Taylor rubs off that Middlebrooks screen. On the drive into traffic. Tried to feed Middlebrooks. And last touch by Notre Dame. Lamar Simpson on the whistle, helping out Bill Covington Jr. and Tony Henderson. Anise, Debbie, thanks very much. We welcome you to South Bend, Indiana with Dan Bonner, West Durham, and Notre Dame, like Saturday against Virginia, feeling pretty good early. Irish have knocked down some jump shots. They've got an early 8-point lead here on NC State, Dan.
They've made some jump shots, but they have heavily contested the North Carolina State shots. And Middlebrooks, he's got to fire that one up there.
Ben Middlebrooks just 1 of 10 now from 3 on this young season. You see the start tonight by Notre Dame, couple of threes. They hit 70% from the floor in the first half against Virginia on Saturday, on the way to a 76-54 win. And here tonight, another good feel for Micah Shrewsbury's Irish out of the gate. 6 minutes in, they've got an 8-point lead.
They're making shots and they're not turning it over.
J.R. Konechny with 12 to shoot, out on the perimeter against DJ Horn. Step back, Konechny left it short. Long rebound, scooped up Diarra. Here's Horn for Purcell. Front rim miss of the 3. Booth and Notre Dame doing a really good job on the glass, Dan.
They really are. North Carolina, but if you don't pass the ball, it's hard to get guys in position for offensive rebounds, and the ball simply isn't moving. And
Marcus Burton, the talented freshman from Mishawaka, Indiana, turns it over on the dribble. And there is 47-year-old Indianapolis native Micah Shrewsbury, now in his first year at South Bend. Graduate of Hanover College, who put together a 37-31 mark in 2 years at Penn State. Got the Nittany Lions into the postseason a year ago. And a terrific hire by Jack Swarbrick and the folks here to replace Mike Bray.
Interesting lineup in the game now for Notre Dame. Roper's going to have to match up against Diarra. He's got a tremendous size advantage, does Diarra.
Here's Taylor, who's been quiet. Jumper rattles away. Middlebrooks, the second chance, back up strong, missed the layup. Substitutions now for Notre Dame. Julian Roper, the second, has come in. He's a transfer from Northwestern. He's on the floor. We also get our first look at Logan Imes, freshman from Zionsville, Indiana, and Braden Shrewsbury, the coach's son, is checked on for the first time. Here's a right-hand turn by Jai, and a foul on Middlebrooks will be his first. It's the second on the Wolfpack. Kevin Keats is in season 7 in Raleigh. Wolfpack's off to a 9-3 start. Of course, went to the tournament last year in his 6th campaign. NC State 9-3. They beat Boston College in an overtime game in their only other ACC contest of the season. Free throw by Jai is good. First attempts at the line tonight for the Irish.
The 3 teams to whom they lost, Wes, have a collective record of 33-4. So they haven't lost any of those gimme games.
Second free throw by Jai, and the Irish with an early 10-point lead. And here comes Matt Zona onto the floor now for Notre Dame. There's a look at Zona, senior from the state of New York, who averaging about 12 minutes a ball game, played just 6 minutes in the victory against Virginia here on Saturday.
So the only starter left for the Irish in the game is Burton, and he leads them in minutes played. So that's not a big surprise.
And there's Michael O'Connell, the grad transfer from Stanford, feeding Middlebrooks inside against Zona, off the window and in for Ben Middlebrooks.
Oh, that is a great pass by O'Connell, and he comes in the game, the ball really starts to move, and Middlebrooks did a nice job getting position inside.
8-point lead for the Irish. Front court comes Burton.
Well, he's got to work really hard just to get the ball up the court.
And Taylor almost knocked it here to us. Well, O'Connell's got his eyes up, doesn't he, Dan?
O'Connell, he's not a great shooter, but he can really pass the ball. And he just spots Middlebrooks inside. Zona lost him in there. I think Zona was surprised that O'Connell could actually make that pass.
DJ Horn going to get a break. Cam Woods, Bessemer, Alabama junior, who's playing tonight for the 4th time. Guy who got wrapped up in that 2-time transfer deal that seemed to hobble most of major college athletics here for about the last 3 weeks. And stepping out of bounds is Imes, and the turnover will send it to NC State. We get a break in the action at South Bend, underway with 8 minutes gone. 8-point lead for Notre Dame.
First of all, I apologize to anybody that paid money to come watch that effort from that team. The one thing is they at least got to watch one team play hard. It starts with me. I got to find a new way to motivate them then, because whatever's happening or whatever's going right now is not working. So I got to change my approach there.
It's candid conversation, Dan, and it's brutally honest about his basketball team after a game you and I did. And look, they're 2-0 since. The light has come on in some respect, but winning and the ball going in the basket helps too.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Cures a lot of ills when you put the ball in the goal.
Middlebrooks turns it over. Notre Dame's missed their last 4 shots after hitting 5 of their first 6. Irish have built this 8-point lead.
Well, they've hit 5. They've missed their last 5. They've also turned it over twice.
Davis with Zona, Shrewsbury, Roper, and Imes on the floor. NC State's got MJ Rice wearing number 3. Transfer from Kansas out there. There goes Imes on the drive and got it up on the rim and in. Logan Imes, just his 7th field goal of the year, pushes the lead to 10 for the Irish. Wolfpack just one of their last 7. Here's Purcell attacking. Burns waits at the table with Horn, and Middlebrooks misses the jumper.
That's not the shot they're looking for. The Notre Dame defense so far has been really good at disrupting what North Carolina State's trying to do. They're forcing them to do a lot of standing around.
Yep. Davis knocked down an early 3. Here's Shrewsbury. Got baseline, couldn't finish, loops it to Roper. And oh, what a catch of it, and then bounced it off of Purcell into the Wolfpack bench. And so we'll get substitutions both ways. Don't forget Saturday afternoon on ACC Network, a triple dip of men's basketball. Virginia, NC State get us started in Raleigh at 2, presented by Food Line. Then off to Tallahassee for the Hokies and Seminoles. And then Duke and Notre Dame close us down in South Bend, 6 o'clock Eastern time. All Saturday, all on ACC Network. So Burns has come back. Horn has returned to join Dennis Parker Jr. And Jaden Taylor has also come back into the lineup. 5 to shoot. Here's Davis with some initiative on the drive and score. Tate Davis has got 7. He averages 8. And while Marcus Burton's over there getting a brief rest with Kerry Booth, Notre Dame has still held the rope and expanded the lead now to 12 at 18-6.
Notre Dame has been able to get inside that NC State defense, something they did very effectively against Virginia.
Burns is going to draw the Keba Jai foul here. Be the first on Jai and the first on the Irish. And
Davis has been very aggressive early, and he's the guy who does a lot of the ball handling for Notre Dame when Burton is out, and nobody stopped him.
So here's DJ Burns at the line, NC State's first trip. Wolfpack finds itself 11th in the ACC at just 68% of the strike. Burns 62, Dan.
Well, Burns does a lot of things well, Russ, but you're right. Free throw shooting is the best part of his game. And one of the best parts of the Wolfpack game is the ability to apply defensive pressure. And Wes, subconsciously, if Notre Dame continues to drive the ball past him, then the North Carolina State defenders are going to back off a little bit because they don't want to get beat to the goal.
Burns got 1 of 2. The rebound pulled away by Tay Davis. And then he turned it over in the backcourt. Here is Horn.
Well, he just decided he didn't want any more of that pressure.
Parker for Horn.
Can't blame him.
Burns calling for it. Horn will fire and hit. DJ Horn's 36th three-pointer of the year. 4th best three-point shooter in the league coming in.
And that's quite a weapon to have.
Stepped out of bounds, did Marcus Burton.
That is the 3rd time in this game, Wes, that somebody has stepped out of bounds. It's like they've shrunk the court somehow.
And there's a look at the turnover number. There is one big advantage tonight statistically in this game. That's it. And Micah Shrewsbury knows it. Kevin Keats knows it. They both are aware of that one figure and what it could mean tonight. And you see so far, it's a 4-3 situation.
Well, none of the Notre Dame turnovers have been.
Whoa! Look out!
Well, now that's DJ Burns at his finest, and Jaden Taylor, he's been struggling to shoot the ball, but he won't have any. Excuse me, Dennis Parker had a really good game last time out, so it's 11, not 1.
Ooh. It was a 10 on the dunk.
Yes, there you go.
Here is Davis. skipping it in the corner. 3-ball by Booth bounces away. Parker and the Wolfpack trying to turn it up here in transition. Horn working on Burton.
It's really a nice job by Burton to move his feet.
Burns sets the screen. Here's Taylor above the foul line. Long rebound knocked out. Horn with a fresh 30. Quick trigger. And the rebound pulled away by the freshman Kerry Booth.
A quick trigger rest, but coming off an offensive rebound, that three-pointer by your best three-point shooter, that is not a bad shot.
Here is Burton on the drive and a hand check foul on Jaden Taylor. So Taylor will draw his first. That's the third. And look at Dennis Parker Jr. now.
Well, Booth is thinking, do I need to go and double team Burns? And he turns his head, and as soon as he turns his head, Parker cuts to the basket. And DJ Burns, I'm telling you, he can find people. That is a really, really good pass, but an excellent cut.
Yep. Lead cut to 6. Remember, it was 12 a moment ago. Konechny, backdoor, there goes Jai, and a Purcell foul, I believe. And that will be number 1 on Casey Purcell. It is the 4th on NC State in this first half of play.
And again, Wes, Notre Dame continues to be able to get the ball inside that North Carolina State defense and either score or get shots close to the basket.
Kebba is perfect at the line. 2-shot chance here for the transfer from Penn State. And the free throw good. Don't forget, Sunday afternoon on ACC Network, a full card of women's basketball quadruple header. We'll get you started with number 3 NC State's visit to Virginia Tech. Starts the day at noon, then Georgia Tech in Pittsburgh. And then, Dan, it keeps going. Florida State is at Clemson at 4 and BC Syracuse at 6. All Sunday, all on ACC Network.
Settle in. That's a really good lineup.
That's a total settle-in event. 20-12 now. A couple of free throws for Jai at the line. Give him 4 in this first half. Long 3-ball by Parker. Bounds away, and Purcell will run it down. Second chance for the Wolfpack and a foul on Imes. That'll be his first.
That is a break for North Carolina State because Parker settled for that 3. The ball's got to move, and you can get wide open threes. And fortunately, it was a long rebound, and they were able to track it down. But North Carolina State very out of sorts here early on the offensive end.
Baseline for Michael O'Connell. Grad transfer from Stanford. 76 starts, by the way, for the Cardinal in his career at Palo Alto. Shot by Burns was short. Here's Purcell teeing from deep. Too strong there, and the rebound for Jai. Notre Dame back to an 8-point advantage. State's missed their last 5 shots. Irish have gone without a field goal for almost 3 minutes. Konechny left wide open, buries it.
He was looking everywhere except at the basket, and you can hear the crowd basically calling out to him because all he has to do is turn, and there was nobody there.
Pushes it to 10. 22-12. Notre Dame trying to find the vibe again. Here's Horn. And it bounces away. Konechny the rebound. And here is Burton. All the way through. The runner with the right hand. No basket. Offensive foul. Tony Henderson looked right down the pipe and makes the call on Marcus Burton. It'll be his first. Third on Notre Dame. But J.R. Konechny was looking around to throw it to somebody. Crowd finally said shoot, and he did. 10-point lead for the Fighting Irish when we come back to South Bend. Well, you see the huddle around Micah Shrewsbury. His team up 11, 23-12. See the way the ball game is unfolding here. I see the 2 more threes. You like the shot selections Notre Dame getting here, right?
I do. Now, they started out 5 for 6, Wes, so the Irish have cooled off a little bit, but their defense has been outstanding. The defense has really disrupted North Carolina State's half-court offense, and the key to that is North Carolina State has had to play in the half-court offense. They have not had transition opportunities.
Micah Shrewsbury visited with us this afternoon. He said, I want to see if we can get NC State to come play in the mud with us. And to a degree, that has worked here in this first half. There's Burns. That's a strong move and finish for the big fella from Rock Hill. First field goal for DJ Burns comes with 6:44 to go in the first half.
And he went through that double team and he maintained his patience. There's a foul.
Yep, that's going to be on Michael O'Connell. His first.
Burns catches the ball inside, and this is something they haven't done, Notre Dame. They immediately double team him, but he spins to the basket as well as anybody, and that time he spun right through that double team.
9-point game. Here's Burton working on Jaden Taylor.
And that's a big man getting through that double team.
Here's Burton. That's a long three. Wow.
Wow.
8 for Burton. That's his second three of the first half.
And again, he comes in as a 25% three-point shooter, so you don't mind if he shoots it, but now you're going to have to go out there and cover it.
Here's Burns kicking out of the double team for Jaden Taylor's three. It spins away. Here's Burton, and now the Irish trying to run 3-on-3. Konieczny tees one up. Left it on the front rim. Taylor had a shot at it, couldn't control it. Poked away by Ja.
Wes, that's only a good shot by Konieczny if he makes it. But Burton now, they play off of him a little bit, does O'Connell, because he's been driving the ball to the basket so effectively. And that's going to make him much tougher to guard if he's going to make that three.
Here's Taylor pushed by Burton defensively toward that far side. Burns finally hands to the young man who transferred from Butler. Now Burns backing down on Jai. Now Taylor on the drive will score. Jaden Taylor from Indianapolis, his first points of the game. He averages 13 for the Wolfpack.
And he struggled scoring recently, particularly from three, but that cures a lot of ills when you can get to the basket.
10-point lead for Notre Dame. 5:19 to play in this first half.
Taylor's so aggressive defensively.
Burton sliding through that traffic. Here's Imes. Cutting his Jai. Back to Imes out front. He'll launch. And it drops straight down into the hands of DJ Burns. O'Connell trying to push the issue.
Imes is under 20% as well from out there this year.
Taylor reroutes toward the basket. Back out front for O'Connell. Here's Burns looking for help. 10 to shoot. Here goes the big fella to work. Fall away. Good. Wow. 5 for DJ Burns. Starting to settle in, it looks like.
Absolutely. People are slapping at him, and he just maintains his composure.
Eight-point lead for Notre Dame. And that's going to be a foul.
I think it's on
O'Connell. It is, Dan. Take us through this, Dan, because I think people at home will go, wait a second, how's that on 12?
Well, 12, you cannot run through. 14, Jai sets the screen, and he is stopped. He's got his position established, and O'Connell just runs right into it. You know, the term that they use for that is blowing up the screen.
Yep.
And that was a point of emphasis for the officials before the season started. You cannot give the defense that advantage. You can't allow an illegal screen, but you can't allow the defense to just blast the screen.
4:12 to go in this first half. Second foul on O'Connell. First player in the ball game with 2. Roper back on the floor, and here's Davis, who got off to a nice start with the drive. Left it on the front rim. Burns, and here's the outlet. It's 3 on none, and Woods will lay it in easily. And a Micah Shrewsbury timeout on the 3rd field goal of the year for Cam Woods. Lead is down to 6 for Notre Dame. Under 4 to go first half. NC State got a freebie here, Dan.
Well, NC State, Notre Dame takes a bad shot, but number 20, Konieczny, he's the last guy. He's the defensive balance. He can't go running in to get the rebound because that creates a situation like that. And interestingly enough, that is the first fast break basket in this game for North Carolina State. So you see, they're 11th in D1 in fast break baskets, and for the most part, Notre Dame has contained that by number 1, making shots, and number 2, taking good shots. So you had a combination of things there. It was a bad shot. There was not a lot, there was no court awareness on the part of Konieczny, which is why Konieczny is now sitting down on the bench where he can watch the court from a different angle.
And all the concerns Kevin Keats had today have all been checked here in this first half. All the things he was talking to his team about, the boxes have all been checked, right? Marcus Burton in the drive and kick game, the slowing of the tempo, way to handle in the screen game, right? Everything. And here is Burton.
I think he's probably a little surprised that Notre Dame has been able to penetrate his defense so effectively. And it's not just been Burton.
Kevin Jai trying to get the ball right back to Burton, and does. Woods trying to play on a screen. Jai lost it though in traffic, turned over again by the Irish, and here's Horn. Very quiet half for Horn on the 6th Notre Dame turnover. DJ Horn's only got 5, leads them in scoring at 15 a game. Here's Burns at the foul line. That bounced out for DJ. He and Horn have 10 of the Wolfpack's 20. Pull up by Burton. Rattled around and finally scooped up. Purcell.
North Carolina State getting into a little bit more transition, although Notre Dame doing a nice job getting back.
Fall away jumper. Taylor. Second field goal for Jaden Taylor. He's got 4. It's an 8-0 run to get the Wolfpack to within 4 here.
Taylor's a guy who can score. He scored very effectively at Butler, and that's something that North Carolina State has. They have a lot of guys who can put points on the board.
Jai.
See Notre Dame with their 5 out basically.
Here's Roper with 10 to shoot. All the way through. Burton over the top of Taylor, and it rattled out for Purcell. NC State trailing 4, coming up on 2 to play. Purcell spins, had a path, and couldn't finish. Rolled around and off the back iron.
It's a nice job to get to the basket in transition.
Shrewsbury, the young freshman's 21st 3 of the year.
Well, he's not a high percentage three-point shooter, but he's a high volume three-point shooter, and so you have to be aware of where he is on the basketball court.
7-point lead for his dad's team now. Horn trying to find a path. Jumper no good. Jai the rebound for the Irish.
It's really good defensive job by Jai to not go and attack Horn and allow Horn to drive past, but just to get his hand up.
Roper trying to add to it. Can't. Here's Taylor changing gears against Burton. Gets all the way to the basket. Can't finish, but draws Marcus Burton's foul. And that'll be the 2nd on Burton. It's 4 on Notre Dame with 1:25 to play here in the first half, Dan.
And when you miss a three-point shot like that, Wes, then that's almost like a turnover, and that allows North Carolina State to get out and go. And even though the Irish got back, they weren't able to set their defense, and so really nice job by Taylor to take advantage of that and drive to the basket.
Yep. So Jaden Taylor going to go to the line. I thought Marcus Burton for a moment was checking out. He'll stay on the floor with 1:25 to play. 7-point lead for Notre Dame. Taylor at the line, going to shoot 2 here. Jaden on the year is 74%. Averaged 13 points a year ago at Butler. Misses the free throw. Kevin Keats has got Taylor from Butler. Of course, Horn from Arizona State, O'Connell from Stanford, Middlebrooks from Clemson, Diarra, who played earlier, from Missouri, Rice from Kansas, and Woods from North Carolina A&T. And I'd like to welcome you to college basketball.
Well, that's college basketball in 2024, and Kevin Keats is one of those guys who's done an outstanding job retooling his entire roster from year to year.
Yep. He hit free agency and did a nice job. That ball got knocked away. Middlebrooks scoops up the turnover on Notre Dame. 6-point game ahead of a minute to go. Taylor launches. Long rebound. Rice couldn't get a hand to it because Booth did a nice job on the box out.
If you're Notre Dame, you don't want to get in an up and down kind of game with North Carolina State, but this pressure that the Wolfpack is able to apply makes you play faster.
Zona. Kevin Keats tried to tell you today he was worried about Matt Zona.
Well, Matt Zona is a guy who comes off the bench. He only averages 2 points a game, but he is a capable three-point shooter. Even though coming in, he's only 27%.
Horn knocks down a three.
That guy,
got 8.
he shoots it a little better than 27%, and it's his shooting basically that has kept North Carolina State in this thing.
Irish have 6 threes of their 11 field goals in this first half, and Booth a catch and score for his second field goal.
That's just a great job by Booth running the court.
Final 10 seconds of this first half, 8-point lead for Notre Dame. Here's Horn to work with 4, 3-ball. Rattled around, Booth the rebound, and the Irish will take the lead to the locker room. Notre Dame started off hot, and they finished with an 8-point lead. 34-26 at the break, lowest scoring half of the year for the Wolfpack. Stay tuned. Luke Hancock, Justin Walters, the ACC Network halftime report.
Thanks, Wes. Welcome into the ACC Network studios. I'm Justin Walters, joined alongside by the MOP and former national champ Luke Hancock. Luke, Notre Dame, what has gotten into them lately? 6 3-point shots made in the first half. I don't know if that speech, they've heard it loud and clear from Micah Shrewsbury.
Yeah, I think they did. The speech about if you don't want to play hard, we're building a culture. You can go rot on the end of the bench is what I think he said. And they've obviously gotten the message. I mean, NC State had 7 points 10 minutes into that first half and really only got themselves going off a turnover, a freshman mistake by Notre Dame. I was really impressed with Notre Dame's attention to detail on the defensive end. Every shot for NC State was tough. They're finding ways to get to the rim, but they're shooting the basketball at a really high clip right now. NC State hasn't been bad on the defensive end, but they got to clamp up a little bit on that 3-point line.
What does NC State need to do to get back into this game, especially on the fast break? We know they like to play fast, only 2 fast break points in the first half.
Well, defense got to fuel your offense if that's how you're going to play. And they got a couple runouts there late, couple open threes, but they really have to focus in on the pressure and the pace of this game. You got to speed up Notre Dame. A lot of young guys on that team, a lot of freshmen. So you got to keep the ball out of Marcus Burton's hands. I'm sure they're going to trap and try and rotate out and then deny him the basketball. But I've played in that 2-2-1 that Kevin Keats did right there at the end. There is nothing more frustrating than trying to speed up the game in a pressing situation and giving up layups on the other end. They got to clamp up a little bit on the defensive end, NC State.
Notre Dame riding high, as you mentioned. Oh, we're just getting warmed up. NC State currently down 34-26. Tay Davis, though, one of 6 triples by Notre Dame. The second half is around the corner. Oh, I'm excited for this. It's ladies' night, and it's feeling right. Tomorrow night, Kelsey Riggs and the crew. Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern, nothing but net. They'll have everything going on in the ACC, a nice doubleheader to tip off the new year. Still to come, another half between Notre Dame and NC State. Dennis Parker with a nice dunk. NC State hoping for more of that. Wes Durham and Dan Bonner on the call. They take it away in minutes.
Well, the Irish, who beat Virginia in this building by 22 on Saturday, Dan, started tonight like they hadn't skipped a beat.
Wow, they've shot the 3 very well, and this is a team where 45% of their field goal attempts are from 3, so it really helps them when the ball goes in the basket. Now, North Carolina State, they have maintained themselves in the game by forcing some turnovers and scoring off the turnovers. And that's North Carolina State is going to have to do that because their offense has been completely disrupted by this Notre Dame defense. This is an example. They scored, Wes, but that's a really tough opportunity, and that's the kind of opportunities that North Carolina State has had. The Wolfpack has 11 field goals, but only 3 assists. So Notre Dame is making them one-on-one dribblers.
I'll tell you what, it's an interesting dynamic. Micah Shrewsbury, his team was kind of lost a couple of weeks ago. Now they put 2 wins together, Marist and then Saturday against Virginia. You can almost feel momentum kind of working in their favor here tonight.
Well, they're a team. He's trying to put a team together. Yeah. I mean, nobody who is on this Notre Dame team played the last time they played North Carolina State. So he's putting things together, and I'm telling you, Wes, really helps your confidence when the ball goes in the basket, and that's what has happened for Notre Dame tonight, particularly from 3. Look at NC State. They're only 18% shooting from 3, 2 for 11, and this is a pretty good 3-point shooting team.
Well, and DJ Horn, 15 points a game, has 8 to lead the Wolfpack. You see 8 for Burton, 7 for Tay Davis, which is a point shy of his average. He got this whole thing started tonight. So it felt like when he made an early shot, Dan, it just kind of lifted everybody. And the Irish with the lead. Now remember, they're coming into this ball game with a net of 183. NC State's got a net of 68. The Wolfpack has 3 losses, but as you said, Dan, 3 losses to quality teams, right?
Very good teams. And what you have to do if you're North Carolina State is your defense has to get you back into this, but you have to do a better job running your offense.
Jai, Burton, Davis, Konechny, and Booth start for Notre Dame and Shrewsbury's team. Here's Davis again going to work. In traffic against Purcell, 5 to shoot. Konechny against Parker Jr. on the drive, stripped of it, out of bounds, turned over to the Wolfpack.
Now Davis has a size advantage against Casey Purcell, and he was in the lane and kicked the ball out. That's one that he needs to turn and shoot it because he had a better shot than they ended up getting. In fact, they didn't get a shot. They kicked it out of bounds.
Horn picked up his dribble just beyond the timeline. Burns had to help him. There's Purcell.
Burton has those 2 fouls.
And here goes Burns to work on Davis. A little up and under with a left hand. Rolled off the rim. Rebound. Can't finish is Parker. Konechny and the Irish back in the front court.
Again, North Carolina State not able to score close to the basket.
Here's Konechny. Little shot fake. Almost traveled with it. Got it out front here to Burton. Marcus Burton. Terrific cat quick front. Look.
Wow. Wes, that was a cat quick move, but it was totally under control.
There's Horn, a runner, right hand. Slapped out Davis. Purcell scoops. Right back into Big Burns. DJ with a left hand. Bounds away, out of bounds, and it will belong to Notre Dame. And one more look at Marcus Burton showing you his toolkit.
And remember, this is an outstanding defensive player, and he just doesn't give up. A great jump stop, and then that little flip under the basket. This is an outstanding play.
Yep. And he's in double figures for a 7th straight game now with 10 points. The lead 10 for Micah Shrewsbury's team. Here's Burton again, trying to shake Burns. And Booth tried to clean it up. Foul on DJ Burns.
Wes, he didn't shake Burns, but what he did is force Burns to come and help, and that created an offensive rebounding opportunity for Notre Dame. And Burton has really dominated this game so far with his ability to get into the lane.
Here is Kerry Booth, the freshman from Colorado. Originally was going to Penn State, following the footsteps of his dad Calvin, and play for Micah Shrewsbury. And when the coach left State College to come here, Booth changed and now is in South Bend, Indiana. His dad was a 2-time Big Ten Defensive Player of the Year at Penn State, one of the terrific defensive post players really of Penn State's history.
I don't think there's any question about that. And his son is a little bit skinnier than he was, and a better three-point shooter.
Kerry wears 0. Calvin wore 52, and he was a menace at the iron. That ball got knocked around on the miss, and Burns tried to make the save. It'll stay with the Wolfpack.
Well, this is what you call a screen right here. And that Purcell does a great job with the step back. He can't knock it down, though.
There's the double team again. Nice find, Burns to Parker.
I think if you're going to double team Burns, you have to do it while the ball is in the air. Because if you give him an opportunity to catch and look around.
And almost turned over. Booth collects. NC State missed their first 5 shots before the Parker dunk. In fact, both of Parker's field goals tonight are dunks. He had to hammer in the first half, and that little two-hand flush there. Davis with 4 to shoot. He'll have to fire away, and it'll be pulled down by Horn.
Micah Shrewsbury really doesn't like those contested threes, but they really had no choice that time. Very poor offensive set by Notre Dame.
Look at Horn get a screen from Burns. Floater. And DJ Horn almost tapped it back in. Third try from Burns, no good.
How did Horn get back up there to tip that?
Not sure, but Booth at the other end misses badly, and Burton poked it away. Might have risked the third foul there. Going to get away with just knocking it out of bounds.
Well, this is a situation where you double team comes and nobody drops down in. Burton stayed out on the perimeter and Parker was all alone. But again, you give DJ Burns a chance to turn that head, he's going to find the open man.
Dan, he the best passing big man in the ACC right now?
Quentin Post is pretty good, but DJ Burns certainly does it the most colorful.
Here's Purcell on a stick back, got it blocked away by Booth or Jai. Hard to tell through the traffic underneath.
And NC State beginning to assert themselves a little bit here early in the second half on the offensive boards. That wears you down in defense. You get a stop and you can't get a rebound.
And there's Burns quickly on the bounce against Jai. 7 for Burns. That's his third field goal. The lead 7 for the Irish. Notre Dame's led all the way tonight. NC State has never been in front here at Purcell Pavillion at the Joyce Center. Burton out near the timeline. Hard drive through. Konechny a 3. Bounced out. Parker the rebound.
I think you'll take that every time if you're Notre Dame.
Look at Taylor try to find an alley on the hard drive, and we'll draw the foul. So a Notre Dame foul going to get us to a break just beyond 4 minutes into this second half. Wolfpack trails 7 when we continue.
You know, DJ Burns is a guy who's really hard to double team. Now, early in the game, the first double team, he didn't react well. He threw it away. But since then, when they've tried to double team him, he's had an answer. Very patient, spins, gets the ball to the goal, makes a tough shot. And then this is one of the things he does best. He's an outstanding passer, beats the double team, and then, you know, he can really score in the post. So Burns, really a good start to the second half. And Wes, remember we told you that the Wolfpack, as you get a look at Burns' numbers tonight, had only 3 assists and 11 field goals in the first half. They have 2 assists and 2 field goals here in the second.
There's Jaden Taylor at the line, and the first one good.
Wes, and the other thing that's really interesting is North Carolina State, despite the fact that they trail, they have 14 more field goal attempts than Notre Dame because they have 11 offensive rebounds.
But the second chance opportunities, only 4 points.
That's correct. So it's just a number unless you can convert them, but you keep getting those opportunities. Eventually it's going to tell.
Down to 5. Remember the lead at the break was 8. 37-32. Burton with a Marcus Haynes move. Saved it for Konechny, who scored. No, couldn't. Fell off the front of the rim and last touched by Notre Dame. First of all, I don't know how Burton saved it, and I don't know how Konechny missed the layup.
But Konechny missed the layup because he was going a little too fast, and you could really see North Carolina State has turned up the defensive intensity, and the offense now for Notre Dame isn't functioning smoothly.
So Kevin Keats, no surprise, they're doing it with defense here.
They're doing it with defense and offensive rebounds at the moment.
Yep, and here is Burns rolling on Jai, missed with the left hand. Imes will come away with it. Logan Imes trying to size up NC State in transition here.
Now, Jai isn't a threat from out there, and Burns doing a nice job of just laying off.
And now here's Burton. He is a threat. And fouled on the reach by Horn, I believe. Tony Henderson out from underneath. And the foul will be on DJ Horner. It'll be his first. It'll be the second on NC State now. Notre Dame has 1. Kevin Keats, who, I'll tell you what, we got an exclusive shot of him sitting on the bench there.
Yes, that doesn't happen very often.
That does not happen much. I tell you what, before this season is over, I'm going to try and talk him into wearing a pedometer on the bench. We'll see how far he walks during a game. Free throw good by Burton. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 10 Eastern, following a women's basketball doubleheader, I have confirmed Kelly Gramlich, Ivory Latta, and the Hall of Fame coach Muffet McGraw will join Kelsey Riggs. Ladies' night on a Thursday, 10 o'clock, all the action on the women's card. Get you ready for a big weekend. We've already told you about the quadruple header on Sunday, right here on ACC Network, and always available on the ESPN app.
Wes, does Kevin need an odometer? If he puts his phone in his pocket, it'll give him his steps.
I don't want to confuse the matter.
Okay, all right.
Give him the pedometer, put it on the belt, and let's see how far he walks in a game. I probably would be surprised at how little it is, but I think it's a lot. Here's Taylor on the drive in a 7-point game. Rebound, put up, block from behind. That's Roper, I think, that deflected that stick back.
But another offensive rebound created by North Carolina State, driving the ball to the basket.
Here is Shrewsbury backing it out. We're almost 6 minutes into this second half. Look at Burton weaving. Now Roper, Imes thought about it, 10 to shoot. Imes on the drive. Back for Burton with 7 to shoot against Taylor. Beat him on the bounce. Fall away is short, and Zona tried to finish it in front of Middlebrooks.
Zona needed to grab that one, Wes, not try to tip it.
Here's O'Connell. Look at Jaden Taylor get to the basket. Hit Middlebrooks on the trail. Skip for Taylor. Step back 3. Back rim miss for the Wolfpack.
Ooh, dangerous pass.
Yep, Parker almost solved it. Here's Burton. Look at the way he handles the ball, Dan, and navigates the traffic and scores.
He faked out 2 guys and just waited for him to fly by.
14 now for Marcus Burton. What a very, very fine freshman this is for Micah Shrewsbury, huh?
Well, he's really entertaining.
Out front, Horn sets. Strong miss. Got his own rebound. Kicks. Taylor tries to answer. Middlebrooks kept it alive. Wolfpack trailing 9. They got as close as 5, and looked like that time Roper got a hand in there, and Horn committed to foul. Now they're going to ticket Roper here. It is on Roper. It'll be his first. It's the second on Notre Dame in the half.
Yep. I mean, when you reach in like that, I mean, he made contact. But then this is Burton. How about this move? 2 guys go by, and then that was Horn stepping in right at the end. Nobody. He went right past 3 guys. Couldn't stop him.
Yep. Wolfpack is just 2 of 18 from the floor here in the second half. 1 field goal for Parker on the dunk, and Burns on the little bank shot. Kick out. Here's Morcell. Fall away 2. Got it. Casey Morcell has 4 points. Only 1 double-figure game in his last 4, Dan, coming into tonight. And that ball got airmailed by Imes out of bounds, and Micah Shrewsbury throws up both hands.
Well, he was open over there, but he didn't want to catch the ball. He's telling Imes to dribble it. Wes, that 2 for 18 that you mentioned is really important, because if North Carolina State doesn't score, it's harder for them to set that defensive pressure. And you can see they make a basket, they're able to set the pressure, and they get a turnover.
Wolfpack, who shot 32% in the loss at Ole Miss, is at 28% tonight. Down 7. Morcell. Little 2-man game with Middlebrooks. Got trapped. 7 to shoot. O'Connell rarely shoots, missed badly, and out of there Roper. And Burton working on Cam Woods. Here's Zona for 3. Got it.
Wes, I'm telling you, Matt Zona came in shooting 3 for 11 from out there, but he's knocked down 2 out of 3 tonight.
He looked like Steve Kerr tonight. 20 to shoot. Morcell banged around and draws the foul. We'll get a couple of free throws for Casey Morcell when we continue tonight from South Bend. Matt Zona just adding to the Notre Dame barrage from behind the line. Irish by 10. Has continued a trend from Saturday in their big win against Virginia, Dan, but now they're sharing the sugar a little bit more. 5 different guys have hit a 3 here tonight.
Well, Davis has made a 3, Burton has made a 3, Shrewsbury has made a 3. Zona has made a 3. And the reason I mentioned those particular guys, not one of them was shooting above 25% from three-point range coming in.
Yeah, and NC State is suffering through one of its worst nights from the floor. They're only 27.5%, and they're 3 of 20 here in the second half, and they trail 10, and the score reflects it. 44-34 as Casey Morcell shoots 2 after the foul on Zona was his first, 3rd on the Irish.
Micah Shrewsbury has said to anybody who will listen that their defense has been very good. When they have struggled, it's been because they can't score, and their defense has been solid tonight, and they have scored enough to stay ahead.
Morcell got 1 of the 2, got slapped out. Horn.
That is now 15 offensive rebounds in this game for North Carolina State.
Morcell tried to wrap it to Middlebrooks, turned it over.
That's some play by Zona.
Sure is. $11 minutes to go. Look at Burton. Boy, he's got Horn backing up and giving ground, Dan.
Well, he's going so fast he left the ball behind.
6 to shoot for Roper. That's a 3. Here's O'Connell.
Way too much dribbling on that possession for Notre Dame.
Woods trying to get there on the drive. Too strong off the glass.
Seen a lot of that from North Carolina State tonight. You want to get out, you want to play in transition, but you don't want to be in such a big hurry. The offense is not first guy down the court shoots.
Davis backs out. Inside, here's Roper.
He didn't just do that.
Yep, sure did. Got all the way underneath and then found an alley.
I thought he was trapped under there.
Yep. Irish by 11. NC State just 1 of their last 9 now from the floor.
Wes, and the NC State defensive pressure, which was so intense earlier in the half, has backed off a little bit, and that's what happens. You apply great pressure, you don't get results, you back off a little bit.
Don't forget ACC PM every afternoon, 4 o'clock. Mark Packer, Taylor Tannenbaum there to get you caught up on everything going on in the ACC. They'll keep the wraps on college football. They'll be into basketball. Pac-Man and Taylor, 4 o'clock. ACC PM on ACCN, and always available for you on the ESPN app. Burns is back for NC State. And DJ with the ball at the block. Kebajai. Oh, nice pass to Morcell. We're getting an Irish foul. And that's Davis. Tay Davis, sophomore from Indianapolis, draws his first. 4 on Notre Dame.
And again, DJ Burns showing you what kind of vision he has.
Yep.
I didn't think there was an opening there, but he did.
Here's Burns, quick trigger with the left hand, rolled off the back rim.
And Burns has missed a couple of those tonight, and usually he is solid from that range with that little hook shot.
Davis, Kebajai, Konechny, Shrewsbury, and the freshman Burton on the floor for Micah Shrewsbury. Here's Burton.
Here he goes.
Against DJ Burns. That's big game hunting. Now the rebound, and Jai couldn't finish. It got knocked away last touch by the Irish. And the Wolfpack will take over down 11 with 9 minutes to go. Combined shooting in this second half, Dan, is 7 of 36.
Wow.
Between these two teams. Notre Dame 4 of 14. NC State is 3 of 22.
Wow. That's hard to imagine.
Not going to hang that in a Louvre, I can tell you that. Here's Horn the spot up. 9 to play and an 11-point Notre Dame lead.
And despite their inability to shoot the ball, their defense has kept them in it, has kept their lead, I should say, for Notre Dame.
Wolfpack 1 of their last 11 after the miss there. And a foul on Horn will be his second. 3 on NC State.
And what the Notre Dame offense has become here, Wes, is they spread the court. Everybody's standing out beyond the three-point line, and Burton is trying to get the ball into the middle.
Well, and as he did on Saturday, Micah Shrewsbury has put the ball in the hands of his rookie point guard to not just try and win the ball game, but to dictate the gears of the game, the speed of the game, the slow, the fast, all that. And Kevin Keats has got his best defensive player by his standard, Dan, guarding this young freshman. There's a screen. Here goes Burton. Right hand floater. Front rim miss. O'Connell the other way.
That's a great job by Notre Dame to get back because O'Connell was really pushing it.
Here's Burns. Quick pass. Diarra three. And O'Connell flies in there for the rebound and hit the deck hard. And Lamar Simpson's got a foul. And it's going to be on Keba Jai. His second. It's the fifth on the Fighting Irish.
Wes, if NC State comes back to win this game, Notre Dame, they're not going to have to look any further than the fact that they simply have not been able to control their defensive board. That time, nobody blocked out O'Connell.
Here's Burns, double team quick. Skips it away. O'Connell a three. Nope. The rebound for Ja. Kevin Ja's got 9 rebounds, ties his career high tonight.
Burton on the bench getting a breather.
In and around the under 8, and there's a turnover by Notre Dame. Here's Taylor ahead. This is Diarra. Went for the dunk, and he'll draw the foul from Konechny. Mohamed Diarra went for style points. He'll shoot free throws when we continue. 11-point lead for the Irish. Well, DJ Horne came in the ball game averaging 15. He'd been on a tear. He'd had 6 straight double-figure games, 20 or more in 3 of his last 6. It's been a hard night at the Yard tonight for DJ Horne and, for that matter, DJ Burns too.
Well, they've missed some shots they normally make, but I think you have to credit the Notre Dame defense with putting some pressure on. North Carolina State in the second half is shooting 3 for 25. They're shooting 12%.
Right. Headed to their worst night of the year, by the way. Diarra will be at the line. He is just 10 of 16 this year. He is scoreless tonight. Is the junior transfer from Missouri, who is from Montreal Saint in France.
If you say so.
I'm just telling you.
Okay, well, I'm glad to know.
Second one good.
And then this allows him to set the pressure. And Burton, remember, is not in the game. So who is going to handle this pressure?
Couple of points for Diarra. Lead 9 for Notre Dame. Here's Davis, who gave him an early lift in the ball game. Get started. Irish have led all the way, and the runner rimmed out.
That was good defensive help that time. Again, though, Notre Dame able to get in the lane.
Here's O'Connell. Skip for Diarra. Trying to take Davis on the drive. Got it for Burns. Oh boy. Clears against Zona. Left hand move off the glass and in for DJ Burns. 9 for the big fella from Rock Hill.
We showed you earlier, now he's now 4 of 12, but he's missed a lot of those little shots just like that, and he usually makes them.
Under 7 to play, the lead 7 for the Irish. Booth, Jai, and Burton wait at the table for Coach Shrewsbury. Here's the coach's son, Braden. 2-pointer off the baseline, too strong. And now O'Connell.
Well, North Carolina State has hung around, Wes, and they're still within range here.
Taylor on the drive.
I think this is where they have to go. They have to play through him.
Burns, left hand again, too strong. Diarra tried to keep it alive.
That's a really good rebound by Imes.
Logan Imes sneaking through. Imes on the drive, left corner. Davis rattled out. Konechny couldn't grab it. And Burns and Imes, a collision in the midcourt area. Notre Dame wanted a little bit more out of that from DJ Burns. No foul was called. partisans here at Purcell Pavillion not happy.
Well, and Ives has suffered from a shoulder injury.
And Bill Covington and Micah Shrewsbury.
He wants the referees to look to see if there's a flagrant foul. And I'm not sure just because that arm comes up, you know, that's a sort of a natural body reaction.
Right.
And I'm telling you, if you're going to run into DJ Burns, you're going to feel it.
The crowd wants a review here.
And so they're going to go look at it. Now Burns, you know, the arm comes up right at the end, but I don't know that he hit him with that arm.
Right. And as you mentioned, Imes has missed a couple ball games with a shoulder injury.
Well, he tries to get in position. He's trying to set a screen.
Right.
You know, and just because there's a hard collision doesn't mean that was an illegal play. So now remember, there was no call made on the floor. So they're allowed to look at this and they cannot decide it's a common foul.
Okay.
It can only be a flagrant 1 or flagrant 2. And a flagrant foul is contact that is excessive and or unnecessary. And I didn't see either one there. Of course, I'm not the guy who decides.
And you got Tony Henderson and Bill Covington Jr. at the monitor.
And they can't go over there and look and decide, okay, that was an illegal screen.
Okay.
It has to be either a flagrant 1 or a flagrant 2. And I'm just not sure it rises to that severity.
So, and now the other discussion here will occur with our trio of officials.
Well, normally when you have a discussion that's this long, they're going to decide it's a flagrant foul. And Kevin Keats, that is a look of disbelief on his face.
So,
all right, here we're going to go.
Tony Henderson will come over and tell Dan what the situation is.
His arm comes up after the contact. It's not flagrant. It's not a legal screen. It's nothing.
Okay.
Tony Henderson.
All right, well,
what you speculated.
Well, they agreed with me. It's not an illegal screen. It was a stationary screen. It's not illegal. He's stationary, gets himself established. The arm comes up. It's not flagrant. It's nothing.
Here goes Burns. Skip out. Ball movement for Taylor. Nice recovery by the Irish. Taylor's floater too strong. Diarra recovers and draws the foul.
Another offensive rebound. That's now 17 offensive rebounds, which is a season high for the Wolfpack in offensive boards.
So the foul is on Kerry Booth. Only his first, but it is 7 on Notre Dame. So for 5:40 to go and the next couple of common fouls. 2 shots here for Diarra.
We've talked about how well the Notre Dame has played defensively, Wes, but your defense doesn't stop until you have the ball.
Free throw good. His 3rd point. Don't forget, Saturday afternoon, triple header on ACC Network. We'll get you started with the Wolfpack in Virginia, presented by Food Lion at 2. Then the Hokies and Seminoles in Tallahassee. Nice win tonight for Florida State. And then Duke will be here in South Bend to see the Irish, all on ACC Network. And available always on the ESPN app. The lead is 5. Diarra is 4 for 4 at the line here in the second half.
And this is as close as North Carolina State has been in a while.
And they've never led tonight. On the drive, Burton and Lamar Simpson, a foul on the perimeter. And that is against O'Connell. 3rd on Michael O'Connell. 4th on the Wolfpack.
That was a break that the foul occurred on the drive because Purcell was back there waiting for him. That could have easily been a charge.
Yep. Notre Dame has led all the way tonight. They've won 2 straight, including a 22-point win here against Virginia on Saturday. Here is Burton. And Burns knocked it away, but it ended up in the Irish bench.
And Micah Shrewsbury said that sometimes Burton gets a little bit impatient. He needed to go around DJ Burns, not try to split in between DJ Burns and Taylor.
Here's the inbounds. And now Burton with 10 to shoot.
He's going to put it down and go.
Got to beat Burns, and that got knocked away, and that was last touched by Tay Davis. Diarra got a hand on it, but Davis then flicked at it. 11th Irish turnover with 5:10 to play.
Very few things have gone well for North Carolina State tonight, Wes, but you have to tip your hat to them. They have not stopped playing.
Yep. 5 minutes to go. Purcell working on Roper. Left it on the iron, and a whistle and foul underneath. And
on
Bill
DJ
Covington Jr. on DJ Burns there.
I think on Burns. Yep, DJ Burns.
3rd on the big fella. 5th on the Wolfpack.
This is what you call clear out here. DJ Burns, number 30, in the middle of your screen. He just bounces Jai right out of the way.
Kemba is 254, by the way. DJ is 6'9", 275.
DJ is listed at 275.
You know, though, respect the fact that 275 is the number.
275 is big enough.
That's it. 5-point game.
Notre Dame, I think, in desperate need of a score here.
Burton against O'Connell.
That's a tough matchup for O'Connell.
And Middlebrooks out there to spell Burns. And now here's Roper. Boy, DR on the switch. 6 to shoot. Now here's Davis against Purcell at the foul line. Konechny the rebound. Fresh 20 for the Irish. They'll get it back to number 3 here in the white jersey. He'll take O'Connell. Fall away right of the lane. 8 for Burton in the half, 16 in the ball game.
What a great job creating space for that jump shot. And then he made it despite the fact that Taylor came over to help.
Lead is 7 for the Irish. Under 4 to go here tonight in South Bend. Taylor to answer. Does with a triple. Jaden Taylor hits just the 3rd 3 of the night for the Wolfpack, and the 1st not belonging to DJ Horn.
And Taylor had missed over the last couple of games 18 of his previous 19 3-point attempts. So that is a big shot.
First double-figure scorer of the night for NC State is the junior from Indianapolis. 4-point game, 3.5 to go. In the corner, Roper. 7 to shoot, and here's Burton against Diarra. Fall away off a jump stop, good.
I don't know how you guard that.
18 for the freshman. 6-point lead again for Notre Dame. Here's Taylor through traffic. Can't finish the scoop. Wanted to foul, didn't get it.
That was a really tough shot, Wes. I mean, he's trying to be aggressive, and I understand that, but you can't go in there looking for the foul.
Diarra has got to find somebody to help against Burton here.
He's got to play off of it.
Burton going to stop, pop, and Diarra claims the rebound.
Now, that's about as well as Diarra can do.
What a pass. O'Connell and Middlebrooks draws the foul. Crowd wanted to travel, not going to get it. 3:28 to go, and we might be going to the wire. 6-point game. Jaden Taylor knocks down a deep 3. And then at the other end, Marcus Burton right to work. Young freshman's got the Irish up 6 when we come back. Well, it's a 6-point lead for Notre Dame. 2:38 to play as the Irish break the huddle around Micah Shrewsbury. Notre Dame's led from the jump tonight, Dan.
Well, and they have maintained the lead despite the fact that the second half shooting has not been very good for either team. But look at those offensive rebounds for NC State. 17 offensive rebounds. However, Wes, Kevin Keats' guys have only been able to convert those into 8 points.
Ben Middlebrooks will be at the line. The foul was on Roper as we went to break.
And Wes, interestingly here, we haven't seen DJ Horn in a while. It's O'Connell who has been running the point guard duties for North Carolina State.
1-and-1 from Middlebrooks is good.
He's a good free throw shooter.
Yep.
And we did notice, Wes, you and I were talking about it, when DJ Horn came out to start the second half, he had a back brace wrap on. So he might be having some back problems.
Middlebrooks second, cleanly through. He's got 4 tonight.
And Wes, Notre Dame's been ahead this whole game, but it's down to a 4-point game again.
Little backcourt pressure. 2.5 to play. Konechny ahead for Davis. And JR going to handle it against Purcell.
They want to get it to Burton, and finally they do. But there's only 13 seconds left on the clock.
Yep, there's Davis trying to help with the screen, and here's the switch for Diarra. Now Konechny with 5 to shoot against O'Connell. In front of the goal, scores.
That's really a good play by Konechny. He has a couple inches height advantage.
Just his second field goal of the night. He's got 5 points. Morcell tries to get all the way through and does on the layup. So Casey Morcell and a timeout for Kevin Keats. Casey's got 7. The lead is 4 again. We take a break in South Bend. Well, Burton gets it into the front court as we rejoin you from South Bend. There's a reach around on Jaden Taylor. His second, the 6th on NC State.
Wesson, I think that's a big key. That's only the 6th team foul. And on the next foul, of course, it's 1-1. So it looks like the Irish are going to have to make some free throws here down the stretch.
And into Burton with Jaden Taylor defending. Here's Burton again, 10 to shoot now. Where's the screen? It's Konechny helping.
Got to be careful you don't set an illegal one.
4, 3 on the clock. Burton lost it on the dribble.
And
how about Jaden Taylor?
That's just outstanding defense by Jaden Taylor.
12th turnover on the Irish. NC State's only got 9 points tonight off the previous 11. Notre Dame's led all the way. Here's Taylor, and that's a foul on Konechny, and Taylor might have sold it just a touch. 3rd on Konechny, all in the half. 9 on Notre Dame. 1-1 for the junior transfer from Butler.
And this is a situation where Konechny, he goes right into him, Wes.
Yeah.
And Taylor may have sold it, but he ran right into him.
Jai comes out. Tay Davis comes in. Notre Dame downsizing, Dan.
Well, I
1:13 to
think
go.
they're worried about handling the ball.
Here's Taylor.
Taylor's a pretty good free throw shooter, 74%.
4 for 5 as he hit that one. Played 65 games in 2 years in Indianapolis for Butler, did Jaden Taylor. And the second one good. So he's now got 7.5, dozen in the ball game. 2-point game, close as it's been since we started tonight. Minute 5 to go. Roper bringing it into the front court.
Roper looks a little tentative dribbling that ball, and he shouldn't be against Diarra.
Here's Middlebrooks against Tay Davis. Where's Burton with 10 to shoot? Shrewsbury going to help with the screen. Now Davis trying to go to work on the drive, and we're going to get a foul on Morcell, I think.
Yes.
Casey Morcell draws his second. That is 7 now on NC State. And 1-1.
Well, Wes, this is what we're talking about. Notre Dame has led the entire game, and now they're going to go to the free throw line. And Davis, he's a 70% free throw shooter, but 1-1 here. 2-point game.
You laughing at Burns?
I am laughing at Burns.
Yeah, he comes in, the crowd boos, and he starts egging them on.
Yeah.
Come on, keep the booing. Here's Davis, 1-1. Dan told you, 26 of 37 at the line. And the free throw bounces away, and O'Connell the rebound. So the front end of the 1-1. Under a minute, 45 seconds to go. Wolfpack hasn't led tonight. Taylor for the lead, and it went over the glass. Was it deflected?
No, it was not deflected.
NC State was trying to sell that it was deflected. It was not, with 38.2 left. So now here comes Shrewsbury back on the floor. They take Keba Jai off the floor.
And Burns goes off the floor, and Middlebrooks comes on. Taylor, that was a very difficult shot, and I don't think we're looking at the replay there.
Oh, they're going to look now.
I'm not sure anybody touched it, but we're within the last 2 minutes, and the officials can go over and to see who knocked the ball out of bounds. So this is Taylor driving into the lane, and does anybody from Notre Dame touch the ball? That's the question.
Doesn't look like it.
Doesn't look like it, no. I do not know how Jai got out of the way. You know, Jai goes in front of Taylor. No, he never touches the ball. I don't think anybody from Notre Dame touched that ball. Boy, that is close. And even if they did touch the ball, the last one to touch is Taylor.
It looks like Taylor's going to release the ball. It's going to hit Jai in the head.
Yeah. And it may have, before he released the ball, it may have touched him on the arm.
Right.
But the last person to touch that ball appears to be Taylor.
So it's been a busy night in the ACC. Florida State has beaten Georgia Tech in Tallahassee tonight. Virginia, a 24-point winner at home tonight. They beat Louisville.
Well, they made some shots.
And Miami got 71 points from the trio of Nigel Pack, Matthew Cleveland, and Norchad Omier in their 95-82 win over Clemson.
And that's a big win because Clemson, I mean, they've been playing very well. But Miami is a team, Wes, you know, we've seen defensive pressure here tonight. Miami is a team that applies offensive pressure. I mean, 95 points against Clemson, that's impressive.
Dan, this league had a pretty good start to the season. Somehow or another, though, it hasn't quite translated to the national perception, at least as we start conference play.
Wes, you know, that's one of the things that drives me nuts because the ACC, I mean, has some really good wins in the non-conference portion of the schedule. And it's going to be Notre Dame ball.
To Notre Dame.
But that's a perception the ACC has been fighting for the last couple of years, Wes. And the last couple of years, everybody says well, the ACC's down, but still, the conference teams have won 21 games in the NCAA tournament, more than anybody else.
Yeah. Tell you what, the league's got a 9-3 mark against the Big 12 now, which is regarded as the best league in the country, at least through the first month of change. Here's a double team on Burton in the backcourt. Shrewsbury picks it up. And what do we have there? A foul called? No, Konechny. Timeout was called. So
Konechny did call a timeout.
And Micah Shrewsbury's like, okay. And I think you want to know where he gets the basketball. So we'll step aside. Konechny called the timeout near the frenetic pace in the backcourt.
Well, this is a situation where J.R. Konechny, he is going to call timeout because he's afraid they're going to get a 10-second violation. Now, they got it across half court in plenty of time, but Wes, one thing that timeout does is it buys Notre Dame an additional 10 seconds. There's only 24 seconds left on the clock, but they have now 10 more seconds to get it over.
Got about a 9-second differential shot clock to game clock here. So NC State does not have to foul, Dan. It's down only 2 here.
Ooh, boy, what a dangerous pass.
Konechny.
And that's a travel.
Sure is. Called by Lamar Simpson right in front of the Notre Dame bench.
And that is an outstanding job by North Carolina State to keep the ball out of Burton's hands. And this is a situation where Konechny just doesn't get stopped. He needs to do a jump stop, and he didn't do it.
So the Wolfpack going to take a timeout, and DJ Horn's going to come back in the ball game when we continue. Well, you see the huddle for Kevin Keats. DJ Horn, by the way, went back to the table as we began the timeout, Dan. He'll be on the floor for the Wolfpack, who now has the shot clock off. You see the game reset.
Wes, you're down by 2 points, so you're not going to try to hold it for the last shot. Where North Carolina State has had success is attacking the basket, getting those offensive rebounds. And Horn, he's obviously in the game for his three-point shooting ability. And Horn, we mentioned, he's been out of the game for a long time, Wes. And so since he's back in the game now, I don't think it was an injury issue. I just think Kevin Keats thought they were playing better with O'Connell handling the point.
Yep. Well, and he's the Wolfpack head coach, quick to tell you, O'Connell is the best distributor of the basketball we have. And now O'Connell is going to stay on the floor with Purcell, Horn, Taylor, and Burns.
Well, now, Notre Dame has 9 fouls. So if they commit a foul, then it's going to be 2 shots, not 1 and 1. North Carolina State only has 7 fouls, so any foul that they might commit that's a non-shooting foul will be a 1-and-1 for Notre Dame.
Crowd to their feet here at Purcell Pavillion. Here's Taylor.
Taylor's been effective attacking the basket, but this is where you're going.
Burns rolling on Jai. Left hand, we're tied. DJ Burns now with 11 in the game on his 5th field goal. 14 seconds left. Konechny to put it in play, and it's Burton. Weaving through traffic. Rolls it over. Here's Roper. And a foul called on Taylor with 8.3 left, and that's the 8th on NC State. So 1-and-1 for Roper,
who is a 58% free throw shooter, Wes. This is, I mean, that's why DJ Burns is in the game. In this kind of a situation, that's where you're going with the ball. He collects the 2 points. And Taylor wasn't trying to foul him, but in that situation, you foul a 58% free throw shooter, it might turn out to be okay.
And here is Diarra to the table, and he's going to replace Taylor.
You're looking for a rebound here, Wes.
Well, and NC State's got 1 timeout left in a tie game at 52. Free throw by Roper, no good. O'Connell going to run it down with 6. 5. Here's O'Connell front court, and Kevin Keats a timeout. In the dead break, I thought O'Connell was getting ready to deliver the pass to Jaden Taylor. And instead, a timeout is called. NC State will be out of them and have the ball with 3.6 left.
You know, Notre Dame has done such a great job, but they've missed the last 2 front ends of the 1-and-1.
Sure have. Davis and now Roper, Dan.
Yep.
So what do you like here? You got all, is it DJ Burns?
I'm going to DJ Burns. Now, of course, everybody in the building knows that they want to go to DJ Burns, but DJ Burns catches it so well inside. North Carolina State, if you don't go to Burns, the other thing is I think I give the ball to Taylor and have him drive it to the basket.
Don't have a lot of time to drive with 3.6 left. Now, remember, too, we had a conversation today with Micah Shrewsbury about the ability to put Booth and Davis both on the floor together. Does he do that for this last possession, Dan? With DJ Burns in the game like this?
Well, he's got Jai in the game and Davis in the game.
There you go.
And so Booth is not in the game. I think they're worried about the strength factor, but Davis is 6'9".
Kevin Jai at 6'10's got a career high rebounding wise tonight.
And Burton is out of the game.
He's got 4 points but 11 rebounds. And Davis is going to defend the inbounds pass.
All right, so Taylor is the guy who's going to inbound the ball. You got Horn.
They're going to put 4 seconds even on the clock.
Okay. So you got Horn and Purcell, who are both very, very good 3-point shooters.
Taylor to put it in play. Lob for Burns. DJ on the roll. Up, under, layup, good. 1/10 of a second left, and DJ Burns, Dan. How about that? How about this, huh?
Well, I mean, they're not trying to throw it to him, but I mean, he's the last resort. So they just throw it up there. Nobody comes to double team, and I'm telling you, he is so good. He's so agile. What a great pivot. And then he just steps right through.
NC State leads for the first time tonight with 1/10 of a second to go in the ball game.
And the officials are going to look and make sure that 1/10 of a second is right. But remember, if it's 3/10 of a second or less, Notre Dame can't catch the ball. But all they can do in this situation is tip it. So you need at least 4/10 of a second to catch and shoot.
And Lamar Simpson and Bill Covington Jr. over to get this squared away.
Wes, Notre Dame, they shot the ball very well in the first half, and we said their Achilles heel this year has been their inability to score. And in the second half, even though they played really well defensively, they weren't able to score, and particularly missing the critical front ends of the 1-and-1 down the stretch.
So Notre Dame, they're going to put 6/10 of a second.
6/10 of a second. Okay, well,
that changes everything.
That changes everything. You have enough time to throw it in and take a shot. You don't have enough time to do anything else. You've got to throw it into the back court. So let's take a look. The clock is supposed to stop when the ball goes through the basket. And that's 0.6 of a second is right. The ball is through the basket at 0.6.
Let me tell you this. We have played 4 conference games tonight, which takes us to a total of 17 so far in ACC play. There's been 1 game 5 points or less or overtime prior to tonight. NC State played that against Boston College, Dan, and the Wolfpack's at it again, trying to secure another ACC road win here tonight. They won at Chestnut Hill in overtime, and now DJ Burns has given them the lead for the first time tonight with 0.6 of a second left.
Wes, you don't have enough time. You catch the ball, maybe 1 dribble, and then you let it go.
But it's got to be Konechny. It's got to be something near the midcourt line, right?
And Zone is obviously in there because he can throw the ball. That's
Justin Roper is at the basket end to our left. Here's Zona. Uncontested throw, tap, and over the inline out of bounds. And the final is 54-52 NC State on the DJ Burns basket with 0.6 of a second left. The Wolfpack go to 2-0 in the ACC. They go to 10-3 on the year. And those 2 conference wins are both on the road. Great to be with Dan Bonner. Thanks to our producer, Derek Coleman, our great crew here tonight in South Bend. Now let's go to Justin Walters and Luke Hancock.
Welcome into a brand new edition of All ACC. I'm Justin Walters, joined alongside by former national champ Luke Hancock. Luke, I know you've been there before. Sometimes as a player, all you need is a nice little pep talk or intervention. And Notre Dame head coach Micah Shrewsbury gave one to his team about 2 weeks ago. Take a listen if you remember.
So a message needs to be sent to some of these guys that, like, if you don't play hard, then you can sit and rot over there on the bench. And I'll find a way. I'll go and talk to the people in compliance. I will help you transfer. Because this culture is getting built the right way. And if you ain't a part of it, you're out. And I don't care.
You know, based on their performance since that game against Citadel, it's safe to say the Irish got the message, Luke. In their last 2 games, Notre Dame has improved on both ends of the court, holding opponents to 12.5 fewer points per game. The Irish have also made strides in their 3-point shooting, up 18% since Coach Shrewsbury sounded off. So let's see if they could actually put it to test in today's game. It was a big one against NC State. Notre Dame coming off, of course, that nice win against UVA, now hosting and taking on the Fighting Irish. Minutes into the first half, Tate Davis drills open 3. Notre Dame now up by 8. Minutes later, Luke, Dennis Parker cuts inside. Too easy of a slam.
He's trying to make skywalkers, but what a great feed from DJ Burns. He's such an underrated passer. He gets to that left hand, it's over, but can also feed the rock.
Yeah, and you like to see that for Notre Dame freshman Marcus Burton. Not necessarily in his bag from 3, but he can make them. And then Matt Zona here drills an open 3. Notre Dame was up by 8 at halftime. Pick it up now. Second half action. Burton weaving through off the glass. You like the way he plays, right, Luke?
Oh, I love his game. He's one of the craftiest players we have in the ACC, and one of the best I've seen at navigating pick and rolls. He can split a defender better than almost anybody.
Yeah, let's fast forward down to the final 2 minutes because things got very interesting. Casey Morcell reverse layup. NC State down just by 2. And then, final seconds here, they feed it to the big fella, DJ Burns. That's too easy, Luke.
That left hand. That left hand, he gets to the left hand over that right shoulder, and it is over. One of the best in the business.
Yeah, but here, Julian Roper here misses the front end of a 1-and-1. So just 4 seconds left. You got to make your free throws, Luke. So one more chance here for NC State. They call a timeout. There's going to be 4 seconds left on the clock. To no surprise, I think you know where they go.
Yeah, I thought there'd be a little misdirection, but they were able to just throw it into DJ Burns. And then this is such a veteran guy with great footwork, just takes his time, and again, gets to that trusty left hand.
Too easy. NC State wins 54-52. Here's Burns Jr. after the win.
Well, thanks very much. DJ Burns, you're the hero tonight. You guys led for a grand total of 0.6 of a second.
Hey, a win is a win.
It is a win. And tonight was about what in your mind?
Just not letting ourselves fall apart. You know, we easily could have gave up there. You know, we were down literally the whole game, I think. And we had every opportunity to give up, and the boys kept fighting.
Well, now, DJ, you guys obviously didn't shoot the ball very well tonight, but at the end of the game there, was the last play going to go to you all along?
I have no idea, but I didn't even know if I was going to be in. You know, we had the offense, defense thing on there. But my coach believed in me. He told me, he said, make sure you get open. I'm going to make sure you get the ball, finish it for us. So that's what we did.
How much of this, the 2-0 start now, overtime win at BC, fight all night to get a win here at Notre Dame, how much of this is what you did a year ago to get to the NCAA tournament and all the maturation that took place with all these new faces? I mean, you had a DJ Horn, you had Jaden Taylor, Parker's in the lineup. I mean, you guys are kind of going through this for a second time, but it feels a little more comfortable this time.
Right. I think we're definitely a little more prepared. We've been doing a better job of, closing down on what we need to and really taking care of the scout. So we didn't do so well in the first half. Coach came in, he redirected us, and we got it done.
Redirected. That's a good term to use.
Yeah, I mean, he could have came in yelling mad, throwing clipboards, but he came in and he was like, stop them from shooting threes, contain number 3. He's going to make some shots, but if he has a bad half, they're going to have a bad half, and I think we did a pretty good job towards the end.
I would agree with that.
Is defense the calling card of this team, DJ?
I would say it's beginning to become a part of the identity for sure.
Yeah, well, you know what? One thing leads to another, right? So Saturday's another big one with Virginia, right?
Yes, sir. Yeah. We owe them one.
Yeah. Congratulations, huh?
Yes, sir.
DJ
Congratulations.
Burns,
Thank you.
the game winner tonight for the Wolfpack in South Bend.
Yes, sir.
NC State took their first and only lead of the game with that game winner by DJ Burns. Luke, are you surprised that Notre Dame didn't double him on that final play?
No, there's just not a lot of time left there. It's kind of a scramble situation. I like that NC State was able to clear them out, kind of get their big to post up big. And then ultimately, I said it before, but getting to that left hand, you just can't bite on a shot fake when DJ Burns is going over his left shoulder and getting to that right hand. You know he's going to try and get back to the left. That's the moneymaker. It was a great play at the end, and I love the draw up from Kevin Keats, again, spacing everybody out. I don't know if you can send the double with that short of time left and give up maybe a kick-out shot because it was a tie game, not behind there.
Yeah, not the prettiest win, but a win is a win. They're 2-0 in the ACC. What did you like about their resiliency in tonight's game?
Yeah, it's 2 road wins as well. Those are huge. The defense, DJ Burns talked about making the adjustments at halftime that Coach Keats, and I've seen him yell, but he didn't come in at halftime and give him the business. But it was about how do you shut down Marcus Burton and then take away the 3-point shot. They only gave up 18 points in the second half, that NC State defense, and that's a veteran crew going up against a bunch of young guys for Notre Dame, finding ways to make the plays down the stretch. And then you need a little luck. It's tough that Notre Dame misses 2 front ends down the stretch there right at the end of the game, but you're going to learn from it. You're going to move on. And if I'm Micah Shrewsbury, after I had that conversation last week or 2 weeks ago, the good news is your team is fighting. It may not have been crisp. It may not have been a pretty game, but they sure fought. It was an impressive fight from Notre Dame.